Hey, what's going on, guys? Yeah, I put up a poll asking you guys if you wanted to see Forza MX vs ATV or CarX. Unfortunately, I couldn't do the MX vs ATV that you guys voted for. I wanted to, but I hopped on today and they have an update I didn't know about. Otherwise, I would have downloaded that yesterday. But I got that downloading right now. The Steam store says that it's a 40 gig update. I don't know how accurate that is. It could be. I think they added some new tracks or redid versions of the old tracks. I'm not sure, but I will definitely get you guys an MX vs ATV video tomorrow. I feel bad that I had you guys vote on what you wanted to see next, and then I couldn't come through with it. I feel honestly rude about that. But I've talked about, meta drift builds and multiplayer lobbies. Uh-oh, I'm losing control here. And I figured I'd bring you guys one of my best builds. I've had this car before on the channel and I did a video on it, but I didn't really go in depth about it. I just kind of like showed the car real quick doing a drift race, if I remember right. And I don't think I even showed the build or the tune or anything like that. So this is one of my best drift builds. Like when I go to a multiplayer lobby, wow, I'm just wrecking everywhere. I just got off a 12-hour shift, so I'm kind of tired. I haven't played anything yet today, so I'm kind of bad. But yeah, if I go into a multiplayer lobby, I see the same guy over and over again, running a all-wheel drive drift build, and he's just racking up like 500k each lap, or 700,000, 800,000, and I need to really rack some points up in a lap. This is what I grab. I'll go straight to the R34, if it's S-Class. If it's a lower class, usually I'll run like either an Evo, or, something I have catered to that specific class. But like a lot of times the S-Class lobby comes up, and there's always some guy that has to run an all-wheel drive setup. This car is one of the easiest cars to drift with. It's a little bit bigger, longer wheelbase, so it's easier to control. It's actually very easy to control, especially with the all-wheel drive. You can basically get your Ken block on, and if you go to spin out, you can really save this car easily. You could basically just downshift, turn the opposite direction, and save it most of the time, unless, like at the beginning where I just spun out, being tired, not catching my reactions. But I'm going to show you guys the tune for this. I've been running the same tune and build basically for about 10 years. And usually I'll run like a V8 swap with about 1,000 horsepower plus. And the reason why I like V8 swaps is because of the low end torque. So like say you're going into a corner and you're doing like, like 80 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour, and then the corner tightens up and you come out of the corner and you're doing 50, and you don't really want to downshift, you come into like a tight technical area or something like that. I like the low end torque that the V8s have, because when you drop down to, say 4,000 RPM, you're still running like 800 or almost 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. And that really helps to get the wheels spinning really fast, where, a lot of like inline 6 builds, they don't really, like you can hear, I'm running the inline 6 build on this build, or inline 6 engine. Man, I'm tired. But I'm running the inline 6 engine on this build. I wanted to go with the Godzilla and just keep that true sound of the car. But like that last curve I was going through, you could see where I started dropping down around 4,000 RPM. Get to the drift zone. I can't see. But you could see I started dropping down to around 4,000 RPM, and the car just didn't have enough power, and I had to downshift to keep getting the tires spinning. That's one of the reasons why I love the V8 builds. You don't have to do that. Especially with like all-wheel drive, you'll start losing a lot of that low-end power. Where with like the inline sixes and the 4-cylinders, like the Evos, you run the stock 4-cylinder engine, you lose a lot of power down in the low end just because you have no torque within the engine. You know, it'll only end up having, like, say a 1200 horse Evo will only end up having like 600 or 700 foot-pounds of torque usually, unfortunately. Same with this, I think it's around 700 or 800 foot-pounds of torque, and the top end horsepower is 1200 horse. But I'm gonna go ahead and hop out to the garage, show you guys the build and tune. If you guys do want more low end torque, just run the V8 swap. It helps a lot with this car. Right there. 3 liter, I wanted to have that, you know, inline 6 sound. What is it? This right here, 6.2 liter V8. You'll end up having like 12 or 1300 horse, and you end up having a lot more torque. Yeah, like here, you see I have 900 foot-pounds of torque. With the V8, you'll end up having like 1100 foot-pounds, 1200 foot-pounds of torque, and I think it tops out at like 13 or 1400 horse. I can't remember, but it's a lot better. All-wheel drive, I ain't even gonna look at that. If you guys want the spoiler, it's a top secret spoiler. I've loved that spoiler for years. I love their products. Top secret bumper. I like this bumper because it's the same bumper that the old Need for Speeds used to have. I love top secret body kits. Stock tires. I widened them up a little bit. Oh, I guess everybody always asks about which rims I got. People always say I never show which set of rims because they like, apparently people like the rims that I put on the car. I'm so tired I can't go through the menus. Oh, my mind's exhausted right now. But I wanted to get on and get you guys a video. I haven't been uploading much lately, and I want to start doing dailies again. You can't really upgrade much on this engine either. And then the, where is it? My cars. I'll show the tune in a second here, but the Viper I'm talking about is not these Vipers. It's the Drift Viper. I don't remember where the drift cars. I went right past them, didn't I? Formula Drift. This car right here. This is what it'll look like when you go to buy it out of the shop. But like here, this thing you can come down to literally like 2500 RPMs, and you don't even have to downshift. This thing will just have all that, like 1800 foot-pounds of torque. That thing is just mean. I'll do a video on that probably Sunday or Monday. I'll show you guys that car and make a video, so make sure you drop that sub and come back if you're not. I'm gonna go show you guys the tune on this real quick. I've never really done videos on, like, I should do like a longer video on all of my best drift builds. The alignment I never really mess with. I just put the drift suspension on, and I never really mess with anything, honestly. I do go and soften the anti-roll bars up, and a lot of times I'll soften the rear springs. The ride height I always drop down as low as possible, or just leave it if it's already low. Dampening I never touch. Aero I can't on this. Usually like a strict drift build, I'll put one of the adjustable spoilers on it, so that way I can adjust the rear along with the rear differential. But I always put my all-wheel drives, I cut the whole front end. You're still going to have front wheel drive, but it's not going to be, if you have it 100% or even turn it up at all, it's going to lock the front diff and you're not going to be able to turn good. So when you put this down to 0%, it's going to be a complete open, I can't talk. It's going to be a complete open diff, just like a front wheel drive car. So when you turn to the left, your left front wheel is going to spin. You turn to the right, your right front wheel is going to spin. So that way you can still turn around the corners. And I always have balance straight to the rear and 100%. Well, that's it for me, guys. I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And like I said, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, drop a sub if you like drift builds. I'll be making a whole lot more. I think I'm going to go through probably Monday or Tuesday when I got off of work. I'm going to probably do all of my best drift builds. And I'll probably put like a race or something showing the win or something like that. And then I'll do like a half-hour video showing all of my best drift builds within the game. But I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to go ahead and get off here. That's enough of yapping out of me. I'm so tired I can't even speak. You guys have a good one. I'm out of here.